Hi, everyone. So here's your Friday news update from the TAA. I'm Allie, and I'm here to give you a quick recap of the events that have been unfolding. So, as you might remember, last week the TAA sent an open letter to UW administrators that articulated some demands for student support in light of the COVID-19 pandemic. And on Monday, we received a response from Dean Karpus. So I have here Jon, who's going to, I know, have some thoughts on the politics of seg fees and some of Dean Karpus's response.
Yeah, thanks, Allie. So I think one thing I want to say with the response is that, as others have already mentioned, it was a bit of a non-solutions oriented response. There were quite a few phone numbers that he directed us to, quite a few websites, but not a lot in terms of real concrete material relief for grad students. One thing with administrators, when we get communication from them, we're expected to take it at face value. But I actually think, being the good grad students that we are, we need to ask ourselves, why are these things the way they are? And so I think when we look at Dean Karpus's response letter and ask why, a lot of things really become a lot clearer. So for example, we need to ask, with seg fees, why is it that Wisconsin students are on the hook for paying for the essential services of the university, right? Our seg fees go towards essential services, which the administration is more than happy to remind us whenever we ask for relief. But we have to ask, why is it that students, individual students and workers, are paying for those things rather than the university themselves, if they're so essential? Same with the state. We need those services, but to rely on the extraction of those funds from students and from graduate workers is a really thorny take. And the other thing I would say is why is it that the food pantry, for example, or UHS, again, both necessary services, why are those always counterposed with graduates, students' demands for relief from mandatory student fees, right? Why is it always one or the other and not both? I think these are the questions that we need to be asking when we get these sort of administrator responses.
Sure. And I think, to your point, right, those are, the dean says that these are some of the services that are budgeted, that seg fees go towards. Like, well, some, not all. And those are some very deliberate examples, right? And it's also, these examples are, kind of meant to be a sort of roundabout answer to some of our responses as well, right? The food pantry and UHS, when it's just like, well, but some of that monetary relief would actually go so much further to addressing students and student workers' real financial concerns during this pandemic.
Right. Yeah, and to your point, all of the most sort of emotional and necessary services are always trotted out by the administrators. What they don't tell us is that seg fees, a significant portion of our seg fees, go towards paying the university's debt that they accrued for construction costs for building things like the Memorial Union and the new rec centers. And so these are some of the underlying issues that seg fees go towards that we really need to start questioning and pushing back against.
Sure.
So this has been your TAA Friday news update. We hope to bring you more of these in the future. For now, we'll just throw a few links up on the screen if we can figure out how that works. And we encourage you to reach out to us if you have any questions or thoughts. So thank you.
Bye.